Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's New Beer's Eve.
Okay.
I like that. It's Monday, April the 6th. I forgot to say that first. And it's New Beer's Eve.
So you're supposed to try new beer?
I don't know. It's like New Year's Eve, but it's New Beer's Eve. So I'm assuming, you try a new beer. I don't know for sure. I just thought it sounded fun. It's also National Caramel Popcorn Day or Caramel Popcorn. How do you say it?
I usually say caramel.
So do I. But then I heard somebody say caramel, and I was like, ooh, that sounds really exotic. Sounds better. National Sorry Charlie Day. So we got that going on. It's also National Student Athlete Day, National Tartan Day, and National Teflon Day. A lot of stuff going on. Busy, busy day. And we're still going to make time to spend about 5 minutes on the phone with somebody I watched grow up on television. We have Lisa Whelchel from Facts of Life. Did you watch her? She was Blair.
I loved the Facts of Life.
Who was your favorite character on there?
Probably Blair.
Really? See, I think everybody's favorite character is Blair. She was also on Survivor. She was on a bunch of other shows. She's got a new show right now on MeTV called Collector's Call. Several movies she's been in. So our Movie Star Monday is Lisa Whelchel. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A survey found that calls to the National Suicide Hotline have risen by 300%.
I'm sure they have.
300%. Here's the thing I want to say. That is not the right answer. That is never the right answer. We know people in our lives who have taken their life, and that is such a painful thing to do to the people you know and love.
Yep.
And even when you're at the bottom and you're thinking, oh, nobody cares, everybody cares.
That's right.
So don't think that way. The National Suicide Hotline is a great number to call, and I'm sad to hear they've gotten such an increase in calls, but I'm also glad to hear that people are calling instead of doing the alternative. So I've got a link to that story if you want to know all about it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. For Jarrah Rahim Wallace, a desperate time allegedly called for desperate measure. The 25-year-old Florida resident, seated in the rear of a police cruiser after being arrested following a 2:40 a.m. traffic stop, thought, I'm going to dispose of some narcotics.
Okay.
It says that it was on his person. It says actually in his person. It says here the vehicle cam captured him eating a bag of drugs that he pulled from, well...
You don't want to know.
Yeah. Wasn't in his pocket. We'll put it that way. That's disgusting.
That's really disgusting.
So he proceeded to eat the baggie with the drugs in it. When confronted by the deputies, he denied consuming the baggie. Then he spit it out in front of them. Officers swabbed the defendant's mouth, which tested positive for cocaine. He was charged with cocaine possession, providing false name to police, and tampering with physical evidence. He was booked into the jail and hit with a probation violation in charge with a connection of a 2019 felony for crayon theft conviction. So
yikes.
He makes bad choices.
Bad day.
Yeah, it was a really bad day. And again, if you want to know where he pulled those drugs from, I have a link to it in the show notes. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Jersey Shore star Mike the Situation Sorrento recorded a public service announcement where he encourages Americans to stop throwing parties and shelter in place. So that's kind of cool that they would have him do that, because he's known as kind of a party guy.
Okay.
But he's like, hey, let's
I don't know anything about him, so...
Oh, he was on Jersey Shore.
I didn't. Did you watch that?
Oh, all the time?
Act like you know.
No.
You don't know.
I saw a clip on the internet once. No, I didn't watch it, but I do know who he is because he's been in trouble, went to jail for a while.
Okay.
He's a bit of a party guy. So he's saying, hey, I like to party as much as anybody, but you know what? Let's just wait. Let's wait a couple months and then we'll have one heck of a big party, but stay home. Don't go out. That's what he's saying. And I agree.
I miss
Paris,
my parties.
I know, me too. But you know what, Heidi? One of these days, we're going to have a party again.
We
are going to have a big party. Paris Hilton has delayed the release of her documentary because of the pandemic. Here's the thing. Why delay it? Right now would be a time. People have time to watch it. Paris, put it out now. People are either going to watch it or they're not. And right now would be a time that more people probably would. Look at this Tiger King. I would have never gone out of my way to do that if I didn't have time. But I had nothing but time.
Yes, you would have. You would have stayed up till like 3 in the morning.
Probably would have.
Yes,
all right, that's going to do it for Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. The Empire State Building displayed a red siren light last Monday, and many people caused it anxiety-inducing. So
I'm sure.
Yeah. And
I'm sure they did.
They said that's probably a bad plan. So they did that, kind of as just a beacon, letting people know that, hey, we're here. But the red siren light,
it made it look like there was a major warning or something horrible going on.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Speaking of big cities, the mayor of Washington, D.C. is threatening anyone who breaks the corona lockdown with 90 days in jail. Can you imagine going to jail for 90 days because you go walk the dog or whatever people are doing? Don't do that. Just obey the rules. None of us are fans of this. Everybody wants to have their freedoms and be out doing their thing.
But 90 days in jail, meanwhile, they're letting felons out, convicted prisoners, they're letting them out.
I don't understand
And if you take your dog for a walk after 7 p.m. or whatever, you're going to go to jail for 90 days.
I don't get it either, but calm down.
This is horrible.
Calm. I'm going to just turn your microphone off. A British couple had their wedding canceled by the coronavirus, so they tied the knot. In exchange, instead of rings, they did onion rings, and they did it at a Burger King drive-thru.
Okay.
What?
All right, whatever.
Was it the special wedding you've always wanted? Do you feel like a queen? Because I got a crown for you here. So, in Australia, an Australian astrophysicist was hospitalized after 4 magnets got stuck in his nose. Let me explain.
How on earth did he get magnets in his
He
nose?
was trying to invent a device that would stop people from touching their faces. So, somehow, that included him jamming 4 magnets up his nose. I don't know how that worked. Do you think it was going to repel? I'm going to put a magnet in each nostril, and then I got magnets on these gloves, and when I put my hand close, it pushes it away. I have no idea. I got nothing. But he had to go to the hospital. And then his excuse was, I was trying to help mankind. They're like, yeah, you didn't. Although, in a sense, he did, because here we all smile about it because it was quite silly. The publishers of the National Enquirer were forced to lay off several people on staff during the downturn. So I think the biggest thing is they have too much competition for fake news today.
I would agree with that.
And I don't know if this will be finally. I think we got 2 things here. Vincent van Gogh painting was stolen last week out of a Dutch museum. It was closed because of coronavirus. Sure. And during that time, somebody went in and stole a painting titled Spring Garden. So that beautiful painting has been taken, and they're trying to figure out exactly. I don't know. By now, it could be solved. I have no idea. This story came to me last week. And one last story here. Disney is now closing their theme parks, quote, until further notice. So for a while, they had an end date that I think we've already passed now, but they've changed that now, and they're just saying, we'll let you know when we know, which I think is the safe answer for everybody. Keep in mind, everybody, none of us have been down this road before. So it's not like anybody knows what the right answer is. But if we all work together, it's going to be a whole lot better. Quit fighting with each other on Facebook. That's not helping anything. And wash your hands and don't touch your face. What else they say? Oh, yeah, don't go outside. Any of that stuff. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
It's another Movie Star Monday. This time we have Lisa Whelchel joining us. You might remember watching her grow up on The Facts of Life. She was Blair. She's also been in a bunch of movies. She was also on Survivor, Philippines, Medea, Christmas, a bunch of Hallmark movies. And now she's back for a second season of Collector's Call on Me TV Network. Collector's Call was their very first ever original TV series, and it did so well last year that it's back for another year. Lisa, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am fantastic. And first of all, thanks for taking the time to chat. But let's talk about Collector's Call. For folks that are not familiar, tell me, what is this program about?
Okay, yeah. I travel the country meeting people who have amazing collections, and we bring in an appraiser who appraises their collections, but I don't know, that's kind of a waste of time. Nobody actually is even interested in the money. They're all doing it because it has something to do with their childhood. Time and time again, I ask them, how did it get started? And it's always about either a relationship or a memory or a moment or a season of life that they're hanging on to and wanting to keep present in their heart and their life and not let go of, which is so sweet and so beautiful. And what I love about the show most is the collections, and it's the collectors, not just the collections.
And it's really cool. Some of the things that have made their way to this program, things from Elvis Presley, Twilight Zone script signed by Rod Sterling. What would you say is the most interesting thing for you that you've seen on the show?
Oh, my goodness. There's so many things. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat. There was one gentleman who collected locks of presidents' hair. So he had locks of hair from George Washington, Abe Lincoln, John Kennedy, Martha Washington. So, it's hard to beat that from the cool or creepy factor.
Yeah, it's both cool and creepy, isn't it?
It is.
On this show, you get to go back in time, and we're going to go back in time for a moment here. Let's go back to when you were on Facts of Life. You were Blair. And how many seasons was that program on?
It was on for 9 years.
So you kind of grew up on TV.
I did. Yes, I did.
In addition to Facts of Life, you've also been on movies and other programs. What would you say is the one that people talk to you about the most? Would it be Facts of Life?
Oh, definitely. Yes. I mean, I'll have the random younger person who will have seen me on Survivor, the random even older person who's seen me on the Mouse Club, the mom who's maybe read some of my parenting books, but by and large, it's Facts of Life.
That is really cool. So in addition to being an actress, you're also an author and a life coach, and now the host of Collector's Call, and this is the second season, and it sounds like it's going really, really well.
Last year, we aired the first 13 episodes, really well received, so we filmed 26 episodes, and they're more, and they're bigger, and they're better, and I do mean bigger, too. We have one episode this season that's going to be timed with the release of the new Bond film, because the collector has an airplane hangar. He collects Bond screen-used vehicles. So he has a submarine, a tank, and a helicopter, and, of course, some of the cars, and I mean, that's a commitment to a collection there.
That absolutely is. Holy cow. If you'd like to watch the program, it is on Me TV Network, and it's also online. Is there like a place online I can see this too?
Absolutely, yes. You can watch online, not only metv.com/collectorscall, but there's also a lot of we film. They have these collections. Some of them have 15,000. Many of them are in the Guinness Book of World Records for their collections. So they have tens of thousands of collections items in their collection, and we're only able to really highlight 5 to 10 per show. So we have extras on the website. So there's a real big following, just especially people who love either a particular item, like we have a Barbie collection this year, and Lego, and this coming weekend we have Air Jordans, and so just depending on if it's something that really strikes your fancy, you can go online and find out, see even more of that particular collection.
Now, if somebody listening has a cool collection and wants to be on the program, can they reach out through that website as well?
Absolutely. same place online. Also, there's a big following community on Facebook for Collectors Call as well.
Well, we're going to throw a link to all of that. Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for giving me a place to talk about it.
Absolutely. Again, the program is called Collectors Call. It's on MeTV Network, and I've got all of the information about the program and how you can find it. And if you'd like to maybe even submit something that you have, it's all in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Right now, even a little vacation would be nice.
But this one is going to be great.
This October, we're going to Cancun for a fun event called The Sands.
Hear awesome music from Billy Idol, Belinda Carlisle, Cheap Trick, and so many more.
This happens at the end of October. And when everything blows over, we're going to need a vacation. I hope you will join us.
We've been to this same event for the last 3 years, and it's so much fun. I wouldn't miss it.
Get all the information and get your spot reserved to join us at radiotravelgroup.com.
That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The cast of Friends still earns about $20 million per year. When the show came to an end, the cast of the popular show negotiated syndication rights for themselves.
Yep, good for them.
That means they get a percentage of the revenue, 2%, by the way, is what they get, from reruns airing across all broadcast companies. Since the much-loved TV show still pulls in about $1 billion in revenue, Courtney Cox, David Schwimmer, Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, and Matthew Perry all make major dough every year doing nothing. 20 million bucks is the estimate. Thanks for listening to today's Fun Fact.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Belarus. I know we've never done that.
I know we've never done that.
Where is Belarus?
I've never even heard of that.
I can't find it on this map. Oh, wait, that's not.
That's the United States.
That's probably not going to be there. Here's the headline. The president of Belarus is claiming that vodka and saunas can cure coronavirus. It's already been debunked, but Heidi said she will devote the rest of this month
I will gladly
testing
conduct
this
that study.
Theory. So he's saying vodka and sauna is all you need. Well,
didn't they say that it can't survive in heat? So I could see how the sauna would be effective.
That's probably what he based this on, but
Right.
Don't go by that. Again, it's been debunked by scientists, so I don't know if I would believe this guy. But it is today's news headline from somewhere in this world.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Some weird news right now brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A California con man allegedly claimed he created a cure for COVID-19, tried to drum up investors in his bogus company by saying that Magic Johnson was on board.
Oh, boy.
Former NBA great, you know. He's been busted now. The first federal coronavirus-related criminal case, 53-year-old Keith Lawrence Middlebrook, arrested by the FBI last Wednesday on felony charge of attempted wire fraud in connection with an elaborate scam. They say he fraudulently solicited investments in Quantum Prevention CV Inc., or QP20, clearly phony company he claimed would be used to peddle pills that would prevent coronavirus infections and an injectable cure for those who already had the virus. He faces a maximum of 20 years in federal prison for this bogus little scam. It's the weird news today because it's just bizarre. Of all the people, if you were going to lie and say somebody was on, why would you say Magic Johnson?
Don't you think that penalty doesn't seem like enough?
Should be more than that. If what he did is, if that's actually what he did, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you were going to lie and say somebody was
20
on,
years for scamming people in the middle of a crisis.
Yeah,
that's
it's
it.
bad.
But 90 days for walking your dog after
yeah,
curfew.
So the thing I don't understand again is why, of all the people, why he would say, yeah, it's everybody's involved, even Magic Johnson. You're like, oh, okay, sign me up then. I don't get it. That's today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of da, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. 26-year-old North Carolina nitwit Eugene Hefner is behind bars after being arrested for coughing at a Walmart on a shopper, then declaring that he had coronavirus. This is what, fourth story now?
Yeah, well, it's either that or it's the same one.
No, it's not the same one. This guy was at a Walmart near his home. He purposely coughed on a customer and then claimed to have COVID-19. Police were contacted about his antics. He was arrested. Got a misdemeanor public health charge. His action could have created fear in the customer and public at large. According to the arrest warrant, he was not exhibiting any coronavirus symptoms, appeared to have been playing a prank on the shopper. He's being held in jail. And it says here, according to court and prison records, he's a convicted felon who is serving a 2-year probation sentence for a 2019 conviction for breaking and entering in automobiles. So he's made bad choices in the past.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It's bad. That's today's moment of da.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news, hashtag fake news, made up just to trick you and amuse me?
Okay.
All right, fake news or Florida? Parents of a Gainesville Girl Scout were busted for using cookie order sheet as code for marijuana business. Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say fake news.
It is fake news. Thank goodness. Whew. You imagine?
Woo!
I order some Thin Mints and end up with a box of drugs? That would be awful.
Yeah.
Because I like the cookies. I'm like, what am I going to do with this?
I want the cookies.
Yeah. And I think it's just a weird story. Thank goodness it's just made up. It's fake news. I've got a link to... Oh, I guess I don't have a link to it because it's not a true story.
It is not
I got
true.
a link to nothing. But I do have a link to a bunch of other stuff in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. And this, I think, is cool because we've talked about, pretty much all we've talked about for the last month is the COVID-19 stuff.
Right.
It's everywhere. And we've tried really hard. I need everybody to understand. I've tried really hard to not make our entire program about that. But there are some really cool good news stories that happen to have to do with that. So it just seems like this has been kind of the thing because, again, on the darkest days, that's when the stars shine the brightest. So this is the headline here. Hospital cleaning staff surprised with a moving round of applause. So this happened in Spain. Everybody that works at the hospital thanked the cleaning crew with a round of applause for their hard work during this pandemic. Barcelona Hospital San Joan de Pau posted a video to Twitter. I probably said most of that wrong. They said, today we want to thank our cleaning and security and kitchen and infrastructure staff that is all non-healthcare professionals who continue to perform their tasks in exceptional circumstances due to the COVID-19. Says, with healthcare workers being applauded in the streets and around the world, it's just as important to acknowledge the non-medical staff that's bravely working as well. And I think that's very, very true. So it's really cool because these are people who so many times go unnoticed as they go through the hall. They're pushing a cart, they're pushing a broom, they're doing a thing. I've had a chance when we had an office where there was a cleaning crew that would come in the evening, and this is a while back, but when we were in that office, I would go out and talk to them all the time. Super nice people.
Of course,
awesome
nice
people. And it was just so cool because they would come in the evenings. Nobody else even knew. It was like, oh, the garbage fairy was here. Yeah. I'm like, no, that was Michael that was here. So a huge thank you to everybody who's working hard on the front lines. And here's what I'm going to encourage people to do. This little hashtag gift card challenge. I encourage people, if you have the means to do it this week, maybe find a gift card somewhere that you can purchase. Now you're helping a business in your community too.
Yep.
And then give that to somebody who is out there working.
Yep.
And I just think that would be a really, really nice thing to do. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.